So much of the subtext and actual text of Megamind is about exploring manhood and the relationships men have to those around them that it's not even subtle, it's just there. I have to go scene by scene because it's nearly omnipresent through every moment. And I already had a lot of this written down for a script writing class, so let's go! The very first shot of the film sets the stage for the audience, and the first shot for Megamind is of the dark blue ocean under a yellow sky, the color of our protagonist, Megamind, contrasted against that of his nemesis, Metroman. Megamind is falling to his death, from the heroic yellow to his lesser blue, and landing into the city that he wanted so badly to be his. But this is in media res, before we get to see the cause of the conflict between Mega and Metro. By that I mean where they end up on Earth is interesting. Megamind is raised in an all-men's prison, resulting in multiple caring dads. Meanwhile, Metroman has the typical nuclear family, where the dad doesn't even seem to care that his son came from space and can fly, while the mom does. The dad is the typical dismissive patriarch who probably only got married because it was expected of him without genuinely wanting to support a family. At school, Mega comes to the realization that everything he does is considered bad. Thus, he embraces the idea of being bad by painting the whole place blue in a way that's more annoying than harmful. Metro takes the school away, which you probably need a permit to do, but he's a good guy, and he can break the law. Mega ends up with multiple prison sentences, since he's a bad guy. He escapes them with his inventions and best friend, Minion. Years later, we cut to reporter Roxanne saying some corny stuff in front of the Metroman Museum opening. Her cameraman, Hal, insults the corny stuff only to backpedal when he finds out she wrote it because he lacks integrity. He wants to date Roxy, but doesn't even know her well enough to recognize her writing. As a cameraman, he sees her through a literal lens, without seeing the real her. He tells her if he was Metroman, he'd watch over her like a dingo watches a baby, conflating love with predation. So Hal is a nerd, and an important aspect of understanding toxic masculinity is the imaginary nerd versus jock dichotomy. Jocks can be misogynist thanks to the valorization of sports giving athletes a lot of power to hurt women, then avoid consequences for it. But if a nerd decides that all jocks are misogynists, and nerds are the opposite of jocks, then nerds aren't misogynists. They're nice guys. If only girls realized that nerds would treat them better than any jock would. Girls must only care about status and appearances because they're all shallow and vapid for not having sex with me. What awful creatures females are, and I'm not misogynist for thinking all of that. Yeah, Hal's depiction was ahead of its time. Anyway, at the 10-minute mark of the movie, we see Metro as an adult for the first time, glorified at the museum opening. While the conflict between Metro and Mega could easily be viewed through the jock versus nerd dichotomy, Metro is muscular and Mega builds gadgets, Metro doesn't have any interest in sports, and Mega's gadgets are simply a means to an end for his goals. But they fit another dichotomy, prep versus goth. I mean, look at them. Mega is also a theater kid. Roxy isn't even bothered by death rays and gators because she knows Mega doesn't want to threaten her. It's all for show. Mega projects his video on 2 buildings so the whole crowd can easily see because he's considerate. It's all a performance. He's even good at acting like he's been caught. And he put a camera in the track to destroy Metro so the presentation can continue. Oh yeah, he destroys Metro. Whoops. Mega takes over the town without much of a fight since everyone was so dependent on Metro. Even after claiming power, he doesn't hurt people, just does thievery and property damage. Mega realizes he's unhappy with his indomitable sovereignty and unjustified destruction, but doesn't know why. It's all he ever wanted, right? Roxy, who truly cares about the city, is in despair over his sovereignty and destruction. Hal doesn't even realize her pain because he's still trying to hit on her. Mega and Roxy both go to the museum, seeking solace from what remains of Metro. Mega disguises himself as the museum worker Bernard when confronted with Roxy. He tells it to evacuate the museum before it gets destroyed because, again, he doesn't want to hurt people. They end up bonding over the loss of Metro, and Mega realizes that he needs a hero to fight. Minion is concerned about his plan to make someone a superhero, but helps. Roxy finds Mega's secret hideout because she wants to save the city. He pretends to be Bernard again, which shows off how good of an actor he is, and results in him in more bonding with Roxy as she resourcefully saves them. During the commotion, Mega accidentally gives Hal Metro's powers. Mega pretends to be Hal's space dad to explain the powers and guide him into being a hero in between hanging out with Roxy and fixing the city for her sake. There's a lot of dads in this movie. There's Mega with the convicts who nurtured his love for invention and taught him to distrust cops. There's Metro with his incredibly absent dad. And Hal with his space dad who tries to shape him into Metro and only likes him if he becomes that. Metro can also be seen as the city's dad too. Mega tells Hal that saving your crush makes him love you, even though he knows at that point that Roxy never dated Metro. Then again, I don't think Mega knows anything about romance. Minion realizes Mega's dating Roxy, and they have a falling out when Mega says he doesn't want to be a bad guy. Minion has always been his best friend, his support, but Mega says he doesn't need him, so Minion leaves. Hal kidnaps Roxy to save her and nearly gets her killed. A lot. She turns him down, and Hal says we're fighting like an old married couple. Patriarchy teaches men that their wives voicing discomfort is just nagging, and bullying shows you like her, and no means yes, and ugh. And when she makes it undeniable that she isn't into him, he abandons her on top of a building and breaks windows as he leaves, because in his eyes, she only deserves decency if she likes him. Roxy figures out Mega's idea for a new hero, and tells Bernard she enjoys both working out Mega's plot with him and just being with him. They kiss, and Roxy accidentally turns off his disguise. She leaves in shock, and all the trash Mega removed returns because he dehydrated it, because Mega hadn't substantially fixed the damage he's done. He tries to talk to her, and she realizes he loves her, but she isn't ready to handle it on account of his lies and villainy. Mega decides to stick to the plan to fight Hal, waiting for him in a robot, but he doesn't show. Hal is gaming and stealing because he wants to team up with Mega. He even drew costumes for them that have Mega on a leash, which is yikes. Mega reveals he's Space Dad and the guy that stole Roxy's heart. So Hal tries to kill Mega for real. No de-escalation, just violence. Mega escapes the robot and his death with an escape hatch Best Bro Minion had made. Mega goes to Roxy for help as she's the smartest person he knows, and they go to Metro's fortress. The fortress is the old schoolhouse, which suggests that Metro never moved on from his school life. But he got away from his hero life as he faked his death to escape it. Granted, he's being an absent father to his city, which Roxy responds to by throwing an amp at him. But to understand Metro, it must be said that he never had an alter ego. No way to make friends outside of his fame. His family is nowhere to be seen. The teachers and students that he flew away with are also gone too. He lacks any connections, a problem many men face. Hal fills the void by hounding Roxy into loving him, and he views the world through force and ownership. While Mega has Minion who's caring and always there for him, he took him for granted. Mega goes back to prison since he's not a hero, while Roxy tries to reason with Hal. But she ends up a damsel. So Mega apologizes to the warden to get out, and the warden is Minion in disguise. The real warden wishes them luck because he was also there when Mega's a baby, thus he is one of the many dads. And Mega saves Roxy in the most theatrical way possible. Mega gets knocked down, but Metro shows up to chase Hal, and Mega was actually Minion, risking his life for his friend. Roxy soon realizes Metro is Mega. Then Hal finds out too. Hal knocks Mega around, which helps him get to his ray gun. Hal throws him in the air, and we're back to the beginning. But Mega saves himself with his dehydration ray, his invention, his unconventional way of expressing himself. The ray gun lets Mega take away Hal's powers. Minion pretends to die because he's also a theater kid, but is very hammy. Cue the animated movie dance party ending. The last shot is of Mega holding Roxy bridal style as she kisses him, when he should be held as she is strong, and it's established that he likes being held that way. The unfortunate thing about stories focused on manhood is how the women in those narratives exist in relation to men. And Roxy's drive to serve the city mostly serves Mega's character arc. So I tried to bring attention to all that she does so I can suggest a potential sequel where Roxy becomes the city's hero while Mega pursues his acting career. And that's that on Megamind. And also how it talks about toxic masculinity in between just going through the scenes. If you watched this far, please comment what you think about it because feedback is fuel for content creators. Maybe subscribe to see when I next upload and check out my older stuff in the meantime. And give this a like. Bye.